There's a saying that says, when you're blind, you're disconnected from the world. But when you're deaf, you're disconnected from people. And this is where AI can help. We usually talk about AI as if it's something superhuman, faster, smarter, more intelligent. But some of the most powerful uses of AI doesn't make anyone using it superhuman. It just helps them hear again. There are modern hearing aids today that exist that use artificial intelligence to separate voices from noise. They can pick up the person sitting opposite you in a crowded cafe, the sound of laughter over the hum of traffic outside your window. It's easy to miss how extraordinary this bit of technology is because we take our hearing for granted. But for those who don't have their hearing anymore, this technology doesn't replace any human ability. It just returns it. Today, we're going to look a little bit deeper into this because who knows, maybe one day you'll also be hard of hearing. Welcome to the insides of my logbook while doing a PhD in AI. I'm hoping that you think, I hadn't thought about it like that. My grandmother is hard of hearing. Okay, she's been this way for probably about 15 years of her life. And it's not because she wore AirPods or headphones for most of her life, it's just genetic. But chances are, most of us that wear these hearing devices on a daily basis for many hours might suffer from some sort of hearing loss in the future. Back home, in December last year, when I went there, my gran was trying these new AI hearing aids. And what happened is she could understand the jokes. She could laugh. She belonged to the conversation again. And it wasn't just the clattering of the plates and the knives and the forks. And it was a beautiful moment because it was no longer about sound. It was about belonging. And these devices learn over time. Not just how you hear, but what you want to hear, what's important to you. The world doesn't just get louder, it becomes more meaningful. Traditional hearing aids used to amplify everything. They helped, they really did, but they couldn't tell what mattered and what didn't. And let me kind of show you an example. Cut to Bianca outside in the wind, and let's see if she can give an example here. And in the past, they just used to amplify the sound. So if I give you an example, the reason I'm sitting here in the wind blown here in the Netherlands, I'm using a microphone now. You can hear me fine. But if I turn this microphone off, and you try to listen to me in this time over here, this is kind of what she hears with normal hearing aids. She hears the sound of my voice as well as everything else around amplified. Now, she's got a pair of new AI hearing aids, which means they're able to strategically actually figure out what's my voice and what's the wind. So now, imagine trying to have a conversation while there's the clattering of plates, air conditioning humming, every chair scraped through the ground. All of these are amplified just as strong as my voice. Now, that is the reality of these old school hearing aids. Obviously, there's some signal processing and filtering that does go on, but we're not going to get into detail of that. But effectively, I'm talking right now, and there would be so many other noises above there, your brain has to decipher what's going on. And naturally, yours and my brain, people that have hearing in the normal range, we do that. We're able to block out the sound of the dripping tap and listen to me. Now, AI is able to replicate that functionality of the brain to be like, just listen to Bianca's voice and block out the cars, the noise, scrapes of plates, the tap running, the birds tweeting. And it can detect speech, filter the chaos, and adapt to its context. It's not about perfect sound. It's about clear moments. And this technology gives back something so simple. It almost feels sacred. And that's a human connection. We often frame AI as cold or detached. I do that, as if we're trying to pull it away from being something real. Because it's kind of scary when it's something real. But maybe this is one of the examples where it actually brings people closer together. Connection isn't just emotional, it's sensory. One of the basic necessities in order to form a connection is to talk and to understand another. It's the sound of someone saying your name, the rise or fall of a familiar voice, the pause before some laughter. Those little sounds build trust, memory, and intimacy. In this case, AI isn't just simulating humanity. It's kind of helping us access it again. What I realized during this investigation is that maybe very good AI technologies are not the technology that does something for us, but rather technology that restores something almost innately human. It's the ones that quietly restore what life has taken away. For someone, that could mean independence. For another, it could mean the courage to join a conversation. AI doesn't always have to be about replacing or making something better than the human norm. But it might be cool that it's about returning something. And that's not about efficiency. It's more about empathy, I guess, written in code. And I didn't really think about it like that before. Good evening. I invite you for our thought experiment. Imagine if every AI system was designed like this, not to outperform us, but to understand what we miss. What if the goal of technology wasn't progress, but restoration? A world where innovation isn't measured by what it adds, but what it quietly gives back. Kind of sounds like charity, right? And there are some great philosophers out there that say doing charity and volunteering is one of the best things or one of the most fulfilling things you can do as a human. And now imagine that is what we try and code AI's goal for. Rather than trying to make us superhuman or make it better than humans, just make humans more human. Sounds contradictory, but maybe we should start thinking like that. Anyway, it's a bit late now. I'm off to bed. Sleep nicely.